millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Throwing on second down, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. Well, look now at our starting defense. They're slightly better than average against the run, number 14 in the NFL.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Wilson on target there to Moore. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, saying, hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it. You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. So not quite a first and goal just yet as they come up now second and inches. Wilson leaves this one with Penning. A 5-yard gain there makes it first and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
They can't stop us, baby.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go. Mike 5-4. Get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration. Right there, 54, right there, 54.
On second and goal, Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Nice touchdown, baby.
Tyler Lockett with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
On first down, it's Taylor. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Well, let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected and actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But, boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And that's caught by Beasley. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the ground, it's Cook. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in what you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week. You must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle. One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10.
Right there, 54 Mike. I got it.
On second down, Cook fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Vikings on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And he finds Beasley, complete. Touchdown, Vikings! Cole Beasley, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route-running ability.
Extra point right down the middle, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Go. Here we go.
From the 36, Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Here's Wilson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it up.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Dontari Poe marches in for the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a man open down the middle of the field and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
To try again after the sack. Taylor, and this will caught by Beasley. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 29-yard line. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Now it's Taylor going for it all. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Richie James, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
They go play action here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson, 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Right there, 54, right there.
Play action. It's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Another try after the first down sack. Wilson, it's caught. Lockett. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion,
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Taylor will lead up the offense 1st and 10, and he's now 10 of 10 throwing the ball here to start the game. Now Taylor, and Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Taylor, and this one hauled in by Rudolph. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Here we go. Coming to you.
They go play action now. Taylor. And that is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this, you better have supreme trust in your quarterback. Supreme trust in the guy's going to handle the football. Because if you turn it over here, not only do you go in down at the half, you've given the momentum squarely to your opponent.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Wilson now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Wilson now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Wilson will throw again. Flushed out right. Now, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about...
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
We're waiting. Check Mike, get the ball. 40. Watch the run. Let's go double count right here, double count.
They'll run on first down. It's Coleman. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tevin Coleman. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota.
50 seconds to Mike.
They'll start on the ground with Madison. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. Play action, it's Taylor. Oh, he's got a man wide Complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
And that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Taylor now to throw on third down. He's going to let this go for the end zone, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55, but you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
They begin the drive with Coleman. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Looking to throw on second down. Wilson. This one complete to Coleman. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Here's Wilson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. You call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Penny, a first down carry. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Motion. Under 10, under 10, 10.
On second and 9, Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On third and 1, Wilson steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Well, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Here's Wilson to throw. Complete. He finds Bray. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
The throw by Taylor there, knocked away and incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But it's going to be second down. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. Taylor now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Rolling to his right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Here's Madison running on first down. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 49-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Taylor toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. James has got it, complete. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Alert, 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 alert.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson, and he's got the hook up to Moore. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Taylor, and he finds Beasley, complete.
Taylor's pass, complete to Cole Beasley. A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Taylor. Holmes has got it, complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. On the counter, here's Coleman. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? From the gun, it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. He may try, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
That's a tough one there defensively because look at the stops they got on 1st and 2nd down, and it's 1st and 2nd and goal. And then on 3rd down, they cover the receivers, but they leave an alley open for him to find, and he does. That is frustrating. You do almost everything right, and he still ends up in the end zone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And complete. Right side to tight end Rudolph. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Taylor. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Now Taylor. And that is caught. What a catch inside the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Now it's Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr., his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, so still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick, and that'll make this a 19-point ball game. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
About 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They will run again with Coleman. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go. I hope you brought your reps, because I'm about to take you to school. Check. Good.
On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves.